Gohan's greatest challenge lies before his very eyes as he battles against the most powerful universe in the Tournament of Power, but will his current power be enough to help him push through? For the most part, the fandom is heavily convinced that in order to fully push through and allow his universe to win, Gohan will have to achieve a greater power than the current level he is on now, but is that possible? On today's video, we will be diving in depth and discussing the potential of Gohan in the tournament and if it's possible for him to achieve a higher power than Ultimate in order to finish what has already been started. So hold on to your seatbelts and grab onto those senzu beans because we're going to be diving into a very deep and very interesting rabbit hole next. If you are a passionate fan and want to share your love for Dragon Ball, don't forget to go on ahead and punch that subscribe button and enable all notifications by clicking that bell icon. That way you guys can be notified whenever a brand new Dragon Ball video is posted onto this channel and sent directly on your devices in connections to news, information, updates, discussions, theories, and spoilers to be up to date with all the latest in Dragon Ball news. Hashtag Dragon Ball Squad. Thank you so much for your support, and without wasting any more time, let's begin. It is unquestionable that Gohan is one of the main components that make up Universe 7 as they near the finale of the Tournament of Power, but how exactly is Gohan going to be comparable to someone like Toppo, who is a candidate to be a god of destruction and one of Gohan's primary opponents as we near the finale of the Tournament of Power? And with that being said, having to fight someone who is a candidate to be a god, the fandom has been divided on whether or not Gohan will achieve a higher power to put someone like Toppo down, and joining me here today to tackle this subject is Jessica, also known as Bubbles from Popo's Bedroom, as I do want to go on ahead and talk to you about this because for me, I don't see Gohan achieving any sort of higher power than what he has currently. Now, I think it's kind of pushing it a bit to give Gohan something new. However, I also want to bring up the interesting idea that we said the same about Trunks when he fought Goku Black, and as he fought Goku Black along the lines, he achieved Super Saiyan Rage. Not saying a similar transformation can happen to Gohan, but I'm also saying that it can't either, because at this very point in the tournament, anything I believe is possible. So I wanted to get your take on Gohan if you believe, just as many other people in the fandom, which is why I'm making this video to begin with, to address the fandom in the idea that many people do believe that in order for Gohan to progress forward and establish himself as a fighter, he needs a higher power. He needs a higher power than what he has currently, and I'm not against the idea of Gohan achieving somewhat of a new transformation, but I don't think it's going to be Super Saiyan Blue. I don't think it's going to be Ultra Instinct, far from it, but if there was a chance for Gohan to achieve something higher, considering that they may not actually place Gohan as one of the lead and or supporting characters going into the next arc after the Tournament of Power, but I do believe this would be one of the only chances that Toei has to establish Gohan as a primary fighter and making him seem believable and regaining his credibility. So Bubbles, what's your take on Gohan achieving a higher power, and do you think it would make sense as we near the finale of the Tournament of Power?
To achieve a higher power against Toppo, Toppo would absolutely have to go all in against Gohan to the point where he has nothing else he can use as like his saving point, because it seems to be that every time Gohan is able to push past his limits, it's always to his breaking point. And we know that, you know, as Saiyans, as they fight, they get stronger, and we've seen with Gohan that he is a very strong fighter when he's pushed to reaching those strengths.
Right.
So I think that as far as him achieving a higher power, the only thing I believe he would be able to get is if there is a way to add on to his mystic form. Because from what we heard in Z, when he had the mystic form awakened by the Elder Kai, is that, you know, this is the heightened form, the highest form he will be able to get. So, I mean, that was a while ago, obviously, and that was before all of the God training came in, and that was obviously well before all of these fighters came in and all of these new power types came. So I definitely think that, you know, if that was his highest power at the time, just the fact that Gohan is a Saiyan, and each time Saiyans fight they get stronger, that there is going to be a way that, not that he achieves a new higher power, but there is going to be a way that he can add on to Mystic.
I think it's very interesting, and I don't mean to cut you off, but I think it's very interesting how you mentioned that, because I do believe that during that time there was no need for Gohan to power up from his base form while he finished up with his training with the Elder Kai, because essentially he was so strong at that point, people would make the argument in saying he was even well beyond Super Saiyan 3. But now we're in Super, he's going to be fighting Toppo, and I think that as we go forward in Dragon Ball Super, we're bound to see Gohan do something that can put him relative to Toppo in comparison to him after he powers up, because we understand based on Dragon Ball Super episode 125 that Toppo is going to unleash more of his power, his God of Destruction like power, that is going to put everyone else at risk. And it only makes sense to me because the last time we've ever seen Toppo truly go all in, or was about to, was against Goku, his father. And the evidence is there for Gohan, in Gohan always having to be pushed into a corner and then rebounding back out of it with something new. For example, when we saw Gohan first go up against Raditz, Raditz was very surprised as to how strong this little kid was in breaking right through his armor and actually hurting him. The same goes for Frieza back during the Namek Saga. We also have the confrontation between Super Saiyan Gohan and Perfect Cell. Some would make the argument in saying that Perfect Cell would stomp out Super Saiyan 1 Gohan, and to a degree he kind of did. But then Gohan was backed into a corner, and then when he saw Android 16 get his head crushed, that was the breaking point for him in unleashing Super Saiyan 2. The same could be said about Majin Buu. When Gohan first came across Majin Buu, he was one-shotted by Majin Buu, and which sent him flying out, almost killing him. And then when he came back, he was able to best up Super Buu, but almost got, beat down and killed by, Super Buu Gotenks absorbed. So we've always seen Gohan backed into a corner, and every single time he was backed into a corner, he would come back ferociously with something new. Here, I definitely feel as if we're bound to get something different. And I don't think that Gohan is going to achieve Ultra Instinct. I don't think that Gohan's going to achieve Super Saiyan Blue. I don't think that Gohan is going to achieve any sort of Super Saiyan godlike power. However, we saw based during this Goku Black story, when Trunks battled against Goku Black, we saw how during that decisive moment when the chips were down and Trunks was pushed into a corner with literally nothing else to give, he came out with Super Saiyan Rage. And even till this day, we don't know fully as to what Super Saiyan Rage is. It was never showcased in the manga adaptation, but still, in the anime portrayal, he was able to tap into a new power that put him relative, or at least comparative, to Super Saiyan Rose. Even though I firmly believe that Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black could have easily killed Trunks whenever he wanted to, Trunks still had a better chance at surviving when he tapped into Super Saiyan Rage. The same thing I think could be implied here, to where Gohan could get maybe a similar transformation stacked on top of his ultimate powers. I think it would only make sense to give him something similar to what Trunks had during when he fought Goku Black, and giving him a rage-like power to where it puts him relative to Toppo, because when looking at Ultimate Gohan compared to a full-powered God of Destruction like Toppo, with his full power having to manifest onto the surface, it's universally clear, I think, to a lot of people that Toppo would stomp Gohan. So Gohan needs something higher. He needs a higher power or something relative to Toppo to even be comparative to. So I think that eventually it is possible for him to obtain such a power. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about Gohan doing what Trunks did in being backed into a corner with everything to lose and seemingly nothing to gain, and then just when you think they're down and out and they're finished, he bounces back with a new transformation similar to Super Saiyan Rage? So I wanted to start off with Super Saiyan Rage. Do you think it's possible for him to get that? Or do you think that that transformation alone was simply solely only based for Trunks and Trunks alone and nobody else? What do you think about that?
Well, from what we've seen from the other Saiyans is that each time a Saiyan gets a transformation, the other ones can achieve it.
Right.
The only reason why nobody else has Mystic is because nobody else went through the process with Elder Kai.
Yes.
But I do obviously believe that that's something that each of them could get if they went through the same procedure.
Yes.
So I think that knowing that Rage even though it took a while for future Trunks to obtain, rage is something that we know that at the very least a half Saiyan, half human can obtain as a form, I guess, a transformation, an add-on to a transformation. We know that that's something that is reachable. The only question that I guess would beg then from that would be, can that be added on to Mystic? Because we already know at this point that Mystic is what is supposed to be Gohan's, like, top of his strength,
Right.
like I said before. So now it's just thinking that, you know, similarly to how Goku was able to add Kaioken onto Super Saiyan Blue,
Right.
will Gohan be able to add Super Saiyan Rage on top of Mystic? Is that going to be a possibility? Because I think that, you know, even though obviously I feel for Saiyan and transformation-wise, the focus has been on Ultra Instinct throughout the Tournament of Power. However, if you're looking at it straight from the beginning, they have been setting up something good for Gohan since the very beginning. Since the moment they said Gohan would be the captain of the tournament, and since that was agreed on, they've basically been setting him up, because everybody knows Gohan works the best under pressure. So they've literally been putting him under pressure and putting him at this slate of power since the very start of the tournament. And now it's becoming real when there's only 5 fighters left, and when he's going to be versed up against this power that literally rivals the God of Destruction. And, you know, we know he's never actually versed Beerus, and to much extent he hasn't had many fights with Goku or Vegeta in blue form. So we really don't know how he rivals these powers too well. So we don't know if anything can be added onto Mystic, because we haven't seen it in training and we haven't seen it teased before.
Right, yeah, but I mean, I would say the only time we had anything close to Gohan fighting Blue was against his father. And according to the narrator, it said that, okay, well, at that given point, Gohan had enough power to, I guess, essentially meet his father when it came down to fighting him against, you know, as a Super Saiyan Blue. I just personally feel like Saiyan half-breeds do have more potential. That's already been established way back in Dragon Ball Z, and I feel like as we go forward, it would only make sense for Gohan to achieve a similar like power like Trunks did against Goku Black to take on Toppo, because I'm sorry to say, Toppo just seems like a very formidable person, and I don't think that fighting him casually is going to do anything, you know, to his character. I think that Gohan needs something more. Do I think that Gohan's going to achieve a power higher than Vegeta, Frieza, Goku? No. But I do think that what he needs is something that would put him relative to Toppo in getting the best of him. Unless they want to swerve us and they want to have Toppo clear house and just throw Gohan out, you know, from the get-go as we further our way into Dragon Ball Super Episode 126 and beyond. I just also firmly believe that with the community, because it's easy to speculate and theorize and present, you know, some form of evidence, but there's no evidence that would support the narrative of him going Super Saiyan Blue, Super Saiyan God, or Ultra Instinct. Those are out of the equation. The only thing I can truly think of as of this recording is Super Saiyan Rage, just because I feel like if Trunks was able to achieve that, and there's no real explanation as to how he got it other than him tapping into his emotions, and we saw the pure anger and frustration that emitted from Trunks onto the surface, and he used that to his advantage in powering up. Why can't Gohan, if the chips are down for him, in realizing, like, okay, well, I can't do anything to be comparative to this, you know, Pride Trooper leader, so I need something higher. And even though he told his father, I don't know if you remember, when he fought Goku, he told Goku, I am going to achieve a power similar like you did, except I'm going to do it my own way. I'm going to do it in my own unique way. So, you know, my final question to you is, do you see Gohan pulling that off within the last 9 minutes in achieving a power that would potentially rival his father's, but doing it in a different way? Or do you think that it's going to be a no-go for Gohan? He's going to serve his time, and then from then he's just going to fade away as we go into the climax and the finale of the tournament. So what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's a little bit far-fetched for him to get a transformation, or for him to get an addition to a transformation as quick as the remaining minutes of the tournament. However, like I did say, it seems like they've been wanting it to happen. Like the writing, the foreshadowing has been there for it to happen. And, you know, you could even guess that or even argue that the foreshadowing would mean that he does make it to the end. And I think that for Gohan making it to the end would be eliminating everybody that's not Jiren. Because honestly, I think that obviously Jiren is well beyond his power. So I feel that if he is able to at least wring out a character that is of a god level, then that's going to be what his leadership and what his training and, you know, what's been foreshadowing, that's going to be what it's come to. Because even after what he did say to Goku that he's going to achieve his power in his own way, if he is pushed like that, if he sees maybe if 17 or Frieza goes out before him, if he sees that, then that's going to be something that narrows it down even more to realizing that, you know, he is one of the only fighters left. He's literally one of the last hopes of the universe. So I think that all these things are going to come into mind for him, and it's really going to get to the point where he realizes that if he's not able to at least muster the ability to get Toppo out, that it's really the end for them. And I think that they could play on a lot with that, especially when you bring up Super Saiyan Rage and knowing that none of us really know where it came from or what really happened to it. We just know that it was there and it happened and it was cool. And so I think that being able to reuse that idea in a similar way on Gohan would definitely be something that would be interesting to see in the tournament, just because for Trunks, it was something that came quick and went quick. You know, it was just something that happened, and it was something that was an aid to him when it happened. So I think that if we're applying a similar concept, then definitely the Super Saiyan Rage type idea would be good, and that it would make it in the time frame, just because, again, for Trunks it came quick. So I think that if something like that is going to come quick when Gohan gets pushed to his limit, then that's gonna be what it is, you know what I'm saying?
I honest to God believe that this would be the perfect time for them to give Gohan a little bit of a rub, and I don't want to turn this into somewhat of a rant video, but I do feel like everything has been on Goku so far. I think that giving Gohan something to consider in this tournament on being worthy as an adversary to somebody would be amazing to see. It would be different to see because everything thus far has been boiling down to Goku. Goku getting Ultra Instinct, Goku having Kaioken times 10, Kaioken times 20. Do I believe that Gohan is indefinitely going to achieve a higher power? No, I don't think so. And it's very interesting because a lot of the fans in the fandom, and it's okay to be a fan and speculate and theorize, because there have been so many people in the community that have expressed their thoughts and their opinions, how they feel about Gohan and for him to achieve a higher power. Even notably, as when he fought his father, Gohan mentioned that, of course, once again, he wanted to achieve something similar to his dad, except he would do it in a different way. And that's pretty cool to understand, you know, as a fan, because we've seen everything that Gohan had gone through in Dragon Ball Z, and, you know, even if you want to count Dragon Ball GT, that's fine, and Super has been a bit slow for him, so I would definitely love to see Gohan just kind of have some momentum going in this fight as it reaches its finale, because if you were to have someone like Dyspo or someone like Toppo or someone like Jiren come in and just one-shot Gohan out the ring, or at least beat him down and then one-shot him out the ring without giving him a chance, it would be kind of a cluster for his character, because we're all used to seeing Gohan fight back when he's pushed into a corner. So all I'm saying is I want to see Gohan fight back when he's pushed into a corner, and I really wouldn't mind if he were to unlock, you know, sort of like a similar transformation to Trunks Super Saiyan Rage. It would be nice and it would be interesting to see, and hopefully enough they would be able to touch up on that, because then you can have Goku and Vegeta afterwards mention, hey, didn't Trunks do the same thing in his timeline? Like, what is that? And they can actually dive a bit deeper into what the Super Saiyan Rage transformation is. Not saying that he would have one, but if I were to pick one, that would definitely be it. Because considering that, you know, Trunks was very inferior compared to Goku Black, with that transformation, he was put on a relative level. So I definitely want to see Gohan achieve that, if anything. If it's not Super Saiyan Rage, then I would not like to see Gohan achieve anything, but the fight with Toppo is going to be more interesting than anything else, because for the first time we're going to see what Toppo can really do against the son of the man that started all this. So post your comments down below, guys. Let me know your thoughts down below as to what you guys think. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, the goal this year, guys, is to break past 700,000 subscribers. It's a big goal, but I know that we can do it all together. So make sure you guys slap a like down below and also subscribe to the channel to turn on all notifications, share the video out to as many people as you want and or can. As always, if you guys enjoyed it and or have your own theories or comments to add, post them down below. Thank you all so much for watching. I will leave a link to Popo's bedroom, aka Jessica's channel, down in the description box, so make sure you guys go ahead and check her channel out. Thank you all so much once again. I would like to know your thoughts on Gohan down below, and I'll be seeing you all down in the comment section, guys. Have a great day. Peace.